years, filmmakers have been pushing the absolute importance of sound to their audience. The uses of Foley and SFX definitely increase production value and give the film a more vivid portrayal. Post-production work is fascinating. From the sound of a horse galloping to the rain outside your window. The art of Foley isn't spoken about enough, and it's time to inform people on the effort that goes into creating the films that we all love. Sound is the primal sense that we get first. We hear all sorts of sounds from our mother's tummies, and once other senses are discovered, hearing becomes less appreciated. Spielberg once said that our ears lead our eyes to where the story is, and Foley can do this, as it's the art of creating artificial sounds in a studio to match what is being shown on screen. This could be footsteps in the gravel, or the sound of a horse's reins. These are all sounds that may be more authentic when created after filming, so that there are no interruptions from background noises or wind, for example. Foley is used in so many different things, and the sounds that we hear all around us that are included in many films are a lot of the time created in a studio. I would suggest that you listen out next time you watch a TV show or film and think about which parts could have been created artificially. There are many people that are unaware of the effort that goes into Foley, so I've decided to speak to my friend Ben, who never took an interest in the field of sound, and see if I can change his mind by playing a little game to test his ears. Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to talk about how we know each other?
Well, you've had the misfortune of knowing me for the last 3 years while we've been at university.
And what do you mainly focus on?
I mainly focus on directing and cinematography.
Nice. So you've not really got an interest in sound?
Not at all.
And how do you feel about Foley?
I try to keep an open mind when I think about all aspects of filmmaking, but Foley is one of those things that's right at the bottom of my list of things I want to do.
Do you think there's been a point where you've grown a bit of appreciation for sound?
Yeah, I mean, after 2 years of sound modules, I guess it's kind of finally they've hit their mark, because a month ago I was watching a film with really bad audio and sound and Foley. It was terrible and it haunts me.
Well, I remember in our first ever sound module lesson, we learnt that if you, well, not really learnt, but we were told that if you try and watch a film without the sound on, it's just not worth watching. It's just that important.
No, it's not, and they were right. You know, I probably should have thought, I probably should have realised that quicker, but I didn't take any interest in sound.
You think about things like horror films, with that suspense, you have a bit of music. If you didn't have that, you probably wouldn't have a jump scare.
No, you wouldn't, yeah. And especially horror is that genre that really relies on it. You need to it's more, when you film a horror film, it's all in the atmosphere of what you're trying to create. And if you can't, you can have all the visuals you want, but if you have something jumping out at someone, if you have Freddy Krueger jumping out at someone without a sound effect, it's going to be really bad. And it's not going to scare anyone. It's going to make someone laugh because, some crispy dude in a stripy jumper isn't scary without sound.
And if you think about horror films and Foley, there's actually a lot more than you think, especially with gore. So you think about breaking bones. That's done by breaking celery or various vegetables.
Yeah, and obviously with Foley, because it is artificial, you can't actually get that, so you can't get an accurate sound sometimes, because depending on how you break a bone, it doesn't actually sound like a snapping stick of celery. Sound travels over a distance, a large distance, but it's one of the, light travels faster than sound. So depending on where you are, it's perceptive. If you're stood in a valley, you're going to hear something and someone fires a gun, you're going to hear that gunshot differently than if someone fires it in an open plain. It echoes as well. And sometimes with Foley, you can't quite get that accurate unless you're doing it really well. And that's what I found, I just found that like annoying when I'd be watching something and something would get done and it just doesn't sound like it, and it completely ruins the whole scene.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, how it's like it's not always realistic. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Like if you're recording someone getting slapped, it wouldn't actually make the sound that most films show. But I think if we didn't have that, it would probably be quite awkward. You need that exaggeration.
Yeah, and like I think exaggeration, it depends on the genre you're doing. Like exaggeration, you need it in it's specific to different genres of film. You know, in a comedy, you're probably going to exaggerate a slap more than you would in a thriller.
Yeah, or that when someone falls over, it's the loudest thud.
Yeah,
but you know, it helps. It triggers emotion really, and it's it doesn't matter if it's always dramatic, because making that artificial sound really does add to the film.
And that's what we do as filmmakers. You're there to trigger an emotion from your audience, whether it be that like sad, happy, you know, like feeling nostalgic, like that's our job. Is like, doesn't matter what like department you work in, you're responsible for making your audience feel something.
So how would you feel if I told you that I could change your mind about Foley by playing a little game?
How would you change my mind by playing a game? Oh, well, I think you have a hard time doing that. I really do. I'm stubborn, but I am competitive, so I will do everything I can to win. I reckon I can do that. No problem.
I really hope I catch you out now, because I want you to get it wrong.
That is the support of a friend right there.
Well, I just think, right, I'd like you to grow a bit of appreciation for the art.
I'm not saying that I don't appreciate it. I'm just saying that I don't like it.
Round 1 will be walking in snow. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, here is the first clip. And now the second one. Okay, which one do you think was made using Foley?
I will say number 1.
Okay. It was actually the second clip that was made using Foley. So, round 1, you've got 0 points. Okay, round 2. Walking through dry grass. Here's the first clip. And now the second one. Do you know?
I will say number 1.
Yes, the first one was made using Foley. The second one was the real clip. Okay, the final round is going to be a galloping horse. Here is the first clip. And the second one. Okay, which one do you think was the Foley one?
Number 1.
Number 1. Is that your final answer?
I don't know, there's a lot on the line for this one. I think I am going to have to stick with my final answer, number 1.
Okay. I may have caught you out in this one. Because the answer is that they were both Foley.
Well, that's a trick question. You cheated.
Neither of those sounds were real, and they were both created in a studio using 2 different Foley methods.
It's just the art of deception.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. I think one of them would have been a coconut and the other one would have been high heels.
Not far off. You got one of them right. But, okay, so after that game, how would you feel about Foley then? A little bit more appreciation?
No, I'm even more irritated.
Yeah. Because of, what do you call it? The art of deception.
Art of deception.
Indeed. Well, thank you for playing my little game and joining. Do you feel like your mind has been changed?
No.
Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers. Have a good day.
You too.
Stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't go outside. The world's a dangerous place.
It's not only visuals where Foley is added, it's also a crucial aspect of once popular radio drama, The Archers, which is set in the countryside and many sounds like farm gates, wildlife, and tractors needed to be used to create that image in the audience's mind. Opportunities in film are becoming endless, and the work put into sound and Foley are getting better by the day. It is often unrecognisable, and while Foley has only been around for less than 100 years, it has had a huge impact on media and has revolutionised the way we experience radio or film.